Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your ARIES February 2023 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant. And if you would be interested to know whether you could get or curious about having a one-on-one clairvoyant reading with me from anywhere in the world, then just check out the information that's in the description. Have a look at the website anyway, because I think you'll find there's some interesting stuff on that. And you can then, if you want, have a one-on-one experience with me. Now, speaking of experience, the subscribers, love and affection to the subscribers always, as you know. As the subscribers know, we don't have any video advertisements breaking their way into this content, so you get to enjoy the experience uninterrupted. So now what we're going to do is take 5 cards. 5 is all we need for this February. And St. Valentine's Day on the 14th, isn't it? Well, let's see what there is. What's this one here have to say? This is the 2 of Swords. Hope you're doing well. Things going along fine? My affection to you all. It's great to see you. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing fantastic, I've got to say. There's the 7 of Cups. Well, what does that have to say? We shall see. 2 of Swords and 7 of Cups. The 4 of Wands. And in a moment here, you're going to come round and we're going to have a look at these together. There is the Wheel of Fortune. It's an interesting card for you at this time of year. I think it heralds some great things. We shall see. And let's have a look now. And it is the Herald of Wands. Right, as is our usual practice, why don't you come down, sit down here next to me. We'll have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together while I do the reading for you. Right, now I want to deal first with this 7 of Cups because it has something of an unruly energy associated with it. And why do I get that unruly sort of unbalanced energy about it? Well, I think it is because it is Venus. Where it's placed here, in context of the other cards, the astrology is that of Venus ruling the 3rd decan of Scorpio, that 13th to the 22nd of November. Now, Venus is the planet of love, and Scorpio is all about intensity, in-depth transformation, and exploration of the self and others. But with the numerology of the number 7 here, I also have a mystical association with the planet of Venus as well. And so we have a double dose of Venus coming into Scorpio. And what we find is that Scorpio is in detriment, that Venus is in detriment in Scorpio. And so it's unable to express its sensitivity and its emotions properly. In fact, there is the chance that they can be channeled into negative addictions and intensity, which is the darker side of Scorpio, you understand. And this implies that you might indulge in excess reactive behavior due to something that has affected you deeply and changed you in a way which throws up its own set of problematic issues, behaviors, and ways of looking at yourself and the world. You might find that you engage in binge eating, or binge drinking, for example. Now, for me, mystically, this is about illusory success. This energy here represents the working of Venus in the sphere of the mind, where her influence is by no means clear-sightedness. Do you know, you believe what you want to believe when you are under the influence of Venus? Now, actually, you know, in the Suit of Cups, what we look at is the strategies used to try to get your emotional needs met. Now, this 7 of Cups is about dramatization, making things larger than life. This is by the psychologists, I guess, called the hysterical clinging strategy. The hysterical part is the making bigger, the amplification of emotion and the clinging is the underlying desire to avoid separation. Now, although hysterical is generally considered a bad word, there's actually nothing wrong with being expressive or flamboyant. The problem arises when you must get theatrical in order to be seen or to be heard. Indeed, this is a part of the strategy itself. When you know you are loved and accepted as you are, you don't need to put on anything extra. When we do get dramatic, it is often like a child pleading, "Don't leave, stay here and watch me." We want something to be seen and mirrored. Well, part of the healing is to cultivate a compassionate witness. You can notice what you're wanting and hold this in a loving way. You can also learn to be more straightforward, to ask for what you want without having to whip up your feelings or exaggerate your needs. Do you know the popular term, and you will have heard it of course, is that of drama queen? Well, this is a good description for someone using this strategy because it reflects a desire to be treated in a special way, perhaps to feel important. One way you can feel bigger than others is to make your drama bigger. And if what is happening is bad, it is the most tragic anyone could experience. If good, it is the greatest and most wonderful thing imaginable. There's nothing ordinary for or about the drama queen, except the underlying needs, which are universal. Now have a look at your inner reality and ask yourself, are your needs being met? Step back and look at yourself objectively. Is there some disappointment you have not yet worked out? Have you experienced something that was maybe just a little bit too good? Have you overextended yourself or overdone things in any way? But say this to yourself: as I recognize and accept my shadows, they lose their power over me. But you get respite from this. And this respite comes in the form of this Two of Swords, which naturally is on the same horizontal line. And I notice it's above this Wheel of Fortune here. Well, great, great. Look, here we have the guard, the sentinel standing guard, alone and in the quiet. Well, this is the moon ruling the first decan of Libra, 23rd of September to the 2nd of October. Do you know that this is really a happy combination, the moon and Libra? And did you know that your moon sign describes your instinctive or emotional energies? Now, with the moon in the sign of Libra, you're likely to have a very deep need for peace and harmony in your life. Now, as you know, Libra is symbolized by the scales very often by astrologers, isn't it? And this scale, or balancing, I suppose, relates to any area of your life requiring balance at the moment. And this includes your personal environment, your work, and your relationship with others. But this is almost a time of peace for you. This is the sense I'm getting here is that of neutrality, that of neither being anything really good or bad going on, but balance. And I think what we have here is inner peace and the power to make decisions, and in particular, a decision regarding a situation or relationship which brings about spiritual peace. Let's having a closer look at that again. You know, with this number 2 here, we have the beginning of differentiation, of difference between things, duality, and polarity. You know how there's a positive and negative pole of a magnet? There is a dynamism inherent in that duality or difference. The two can dance together. They can play and fight and make love. With two, there is also creative friction, as you would probably know. Now, the 2 is balanced between the numbers 1 and 3, and the 2, in a sense, is pulled in both directions. The inherent drive towards wholeness creates a magnetic attraction between the two, drawing them together to recreate oneness, represented by the number one. And the dynamic interplay of the two makes space for the birth of new forms, which I very much have associated with the number three. Now, this energy reminds you that you can move beyond an orientation where duality has to mean divisiveness, and you can appreciate how two can come together in harmony and beauty. Now, this could be 2 points of view, 2 ideas, 2 energy fields. It's also about two adding to each other rather than cancelling each other out. Now, of course, when you hold this perspective during an argument, for example, it is not a matter of who is right and who is wrong, but of seeing what part of the truth each carries. This can lead to seeing a bigger truth than either person could see alone. The ability to see something new or see in a new way is graphically represented by this energy here. When you obtain this, it is a good time to look at how you are relating to differences, especially differences in the mental realm. Are you stuck in a polarized position or open to other points of view? Can you let differences be enriching rather than threatening? Can they open the way for new ideas and creative solutions? To further explore this, understand that ultimately everything is one. But after this 7 of Cups here, I really do see that there is an inner peace here for you. And of course, inner peace is a gift. Appreciate it for what it is, but don't cling to it. Ask yourself what areas of your life are especially important to you. You can now come calmly to the necessary decisions and also take the time for deep relaxation, because you are now in a good position to examine your past, present, and future. Write down your insights. There's a power in actually using a pencil or a pen on a piece of paper. And say to yourself, a deep peace fills my heart. Now, what is the card that's sitting underneath it? It is, or card I should say, it's not an automobile. It's the 4 of Wands. Oh, here. The day they saw the phoenix fly overhead is a day they will always remember. This is Venus again. Love, relationship, beauty, business and money. This time ruling the 3rd decan of Aries, the 10th to the 19th of April. Now, because this bird is high in the sky, Venus, of course, rules 2 constellations, 2 signs, doesn't it? Venus rules Taurus, which is earth, and Venus rules Libra, which is air. So I'm going to assign Venus to this high bird here, being in the sign of Libra. Now, for Venus to get into Aries then, Venus needs to go to the diametrically opposed, the complete opposite side of the zodiac wheel to get into Aries. And Aries, of course, is ruled by Mars. Now, the thing is that Venus is in detriment in Aries. And you ask yourself, is it going to be a problem because it's sitting there with Mars, and Mars is that fiery, aggressive planet? But this is a situation, I think, where Venus uses her feminine charms, if I can put it this way, to conquer the aggressive male, Mars. I think many of you ladies will know how to do that. So there's some opposites attract action going on here. You're going to find that you may be looking at someone twice, having first dismissed them. You could have an emotional idea, that's Venus, to get going in a new direction, which is Aries. Do you know, 4 is the number of foundation, of completeness, of progress, power, and stability. So there is here the green light to success. There's a unity here, a completion, a possibility of new beginnings. But I am looking at this sign here as well, this card here as well. And there's the foundation, the first stage to completion, possibly setting up a new home or moving home. Now, I understand here that this is the Suit of Wands. Now, for me, the Suit of Wands ascends up the chakras. Now here, at the number 4, we are at the 4th chakra, often referred to as the heart chakra. Now the heart chakra, along with the 5th or throat chakra, is one of the bridges between the 3 lower centers which relate to the more personal self, including the genitals, and the higher chakras which relate to vibratory energies, frequencies that come from the higher realms. Now there are many reasons the heart chakra may be shielded or closed. Some relate to disappointments, betrayals, and losses, and these are psychological wounds that often need to be worked through before you can feel it is safe to be vulnerable and undefended. There needs to be something completed. There needs to be something finished. Now, sometimes there are feelings of esteem or unworthiness or shame. They also come close to the heart, along with anything that creates a sense of aloneness. But you must remember that you are not alone. You have guides who look after you and who are always with you. And of course, you are a child of the divine. Aloneness is only a feeling constructed in the psyche from various memories and images that played out in the past which no longer exist and which are in the cemetery. Because the reality is that something beautiful is making its way into your relationships. Now you may notice it first as established conditions are called into question and discussed openly. You know that clarifying the old is a prerequisite for a new oneness, a new beginning. This can represent something that needs to be completed despite a desire to move on to new things. And this could relate to your work or a new relationship or to a dynamic within an existing relationship. It can also relate to yourself, where one aspect of you wants to go in one direction while the other wants to move in another direction. But ask yourself this question: are you prepared to accept your partner as she or he is, in spite of your differences? What areas are in urgent need of clarification or resolution? And if there is some tension between you and somebody else, now is a good time to clarify and resolve the interaction and complete the old. And understand this always. Remember it and say it to yourself. Completing the old frees me for the new. Now we might move to the Princess of the Throne of Flames, the Rose of the Fire. Oh, here she is, almost like a light being holding the light up for other people to see. In a sense, I'm getting the feeling here, first of all, I think that Leo, Virgo and Cancer are going to be important to you at this time. And this is sort of talking about helping. This is a reminder that you not only can assist other people physically, emotionally and mentally, but you can also assist other people spiritually. Now, this is primarily a matter of the consciousness that you create. By being in your light, this supports the other's light and helps raise the overall vibration, the overall frequency. It's true, it works. We often feel that living in this material realm, that this is all there is. We see only a fraction of what is in existence. Now, she also kind of, to me, looks a bit like a butterfly, doesn't she? Does this look like something like a wing that she has at the back here? Well, the butterfly goes from flower to flower, spreading pollen. And you collect and spread energy during each interaction you experience in a day. It might be grumpy energy, frustrated energy, or light and happy energy, or the energy of generosity or kindness. And this energy here is inviting you to become more aware of your energy and what you spread around. It represents taking responsibility for broadcasting energy that may be helpful and containing or neutralizing energy that may have a more poisonous effect. Oh, that's the monks. I live next to calling for prayer. Now, you can reinforce the positive energy of other people by mirroring it and help neutralize their negativity by holding it with such spaciousness and compassion that the energy can let go. Now, in the Hindu tradition, she may be also something like a deva. Now, devas are beings of light, in a sense, almost like an angel. They are great reminders of the interconnectedness of life. And although they do bring knowledge to the world of matter, they are not limited to the world of matter, but operate from a more collective consciousness. Within this larger sea of consciousness, everything you say or do or feel has an effect. This is the spiritual law. Whether cutting off others in traffic, or just bringing a smile to someone's face, or giving a kind word to someone living on the street. And this light being, this butterfly, this fairy, encourages you to bring a light and loving energy to the world by bringing this energy into your everyday interactions and life. You will be, during this period also, very energetic, very individualistic, I think, brilliant and daring and expressive in love, or in anger, I have to say. You are feeling freed from fear, and this speaks of new beginning, of pushing out, of optimism and increased perception. You will be open, unprotected, because you will have vanquished the tiger of fear. Now, in a sense, this flaming staff that she has here is almost like a symbol of the sun, that planet which is exalted in your sign of Aries. And she dances her ecstatic dance in a huge flame. Your old fears have lost their power over you, and their dead remains cannot frighten you any longer. So reflect on your greatest strengths. People are going to love your character and energy. You will be a person who is confident, daring, exciting, nonconformist, I think, definitely freedom-loving and certainly ambitious. And people are going to love your character and energy. Now, I've got to tell you, and I mean this with respect, but you could find that you are also vengeful, temperamental, unruly, and possibly shallow or cruel. And maybe just for a moment, or maybe just in a thought. So what's the next step in your life? Find it fearlessly. To the left of us now we have this Wheel of Fortune. Learn about the ways of transforming fearful feelings. Get involved, for example, in things that just make you feel good, that use your body. And say to yourself, I accept my fear. It is transformed into love. Now finally, and let's quickly deal with this Wheel of Fortune here, because it does actually have something quite interesting to say to me. I think obviously it's meant for you. Now, there's a lot of Jupiter energy around here, so a lot of good luck, a lot of expansiveness, a lot of good fortune coming your way. New beginnings, expansion, creativity. I think there's going to be a big breakthrough, possibly a self-realization. Definitely in the face of what you've gone through here. And unexpected fortune for the good. There's luck here, a chance opportunity, winning, some ups, some downs, of course. And it's a sense almost as if you're really now living out your fate, but fate which has got something good in store for you. So be ready to act on any unexpected opportunities. Now, when understand that change is about to happen. Look, that's the only thing we can count on, you know. But change brings with it opportunity. Now, you may need to alter your present course or change things around to set the stage for the right outcomes to come into your life. If no miracles are happening now, something is wrong. You stand before the possibility of a great breakthrough. Use the moment. Are you really ready for the great fortune? And what's standing in the way? But the overwhelming message here is to actually do things. It's to actually make use of your talents. Now, do you know the ideal situation for a man or woman is to die, when they're dying, is to have family members praying with them as they cross over. Now, imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed, and standing around your bed are the ghosts of the dreams, the ideas, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, and that you, for whatever reason, you never went after that dream. You never leant in for that kiss. You never said those words. You never used those gifts. And imagine, if you will, that the gifts of those talents and opportunities are standing around you, are standing around your being, looking at you with large, angry eyes, saying, "We came to you, and only you could have given us life. And now we must die with your body forever." And imagine, if you will, what love, what words, what gifts will die with you. Their own miscarriage is your bodily death. The greatest wealth lies not in the oil fields of the Middle East, nor in the gold mines of China and Australia. It lies in the cemeteries. The greatness we have never seen, the joy never passed on, the words of sweet love never spoken, the talents, large or small, never actualized. Well, what a fabulous set of cards for you. What a great month. Good job, you.
Gee, that was very, very interesting, I thought. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed providing it to you. And some great things happening for you this month, some great things. And don't you deserve it? Now, of course, until I see you again, remember one thing and one thing only, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.